All right, hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Saturday morning, not my usual time. I usually stream on the weekdays, but we're going to do a Saturday morning stream here because I have nothing better to do. And it's a nice morning here, so good day to get some game dev in, but that's every day, I suppose. But anyway, Gunforged is available for sale. It's my 2D roguelite shooter. It's still available for 30% off, so if you want to support my work, that's a great way to do it. And if you do end up playing it, leave me a review. I've been stuck at 46 reviews for a couple days now, so if you do purchase it and you do play it, please consider leaving an honest review. And you can also download a demo, by the way, if you want to test it out before you purchase it. But again, that's a great way of supporting me as I'm trying to make it as a full-time indie game developer. And you can also purchase one of my Udemy courses. Those will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine using either GDScript or C#. So definitely check out all those things. All those things are linked in the description below. So yesterday's stream, what I was doing is working on sort of the death condition, so what happens when the player dies. And I have a good solution here, I think, which is that the player board fades out, enemy board fades out, player board fades back in, you died, appears over here. So this is to solve the problem where I need to be able to sacrifice cards on the altar here to be able to resurrect. But the problem is, when the altar was appearing over top of this screen over here, I was not able to drag cards over from my board. So that was limiting me to being only able to sacrifice cards that were in my inventory, which is not something that I want to do. So now I can sacrifice 2 cards here, resurrect, and that puts me back into combat with the board that I just faced. And so I think that's working fine. But before I do any more work on the sort of resurrection system, I want to actually experiment with giving the player a choice of which combat encounter to do. So I'm thinking that we'll have the combat encounter slide in. It'll be a typical 3 choices. I don't know what, like, the whole roguelike genre has settled on like 3 choices for anything. Must be just like a good number of choices, but I want to offer the player 3 choices of combat encounters, one being a weak encounter and one being a strong encounter, and then one being sort of like a medium encounter, and then attach rewards to those encounters as well. So adding some blood rewards to that encounter based on how difficult it is. And then that would give the player an opportunity to be able to know, based on their current build, if they're powerful enough to take on something bigger, or if they need to just get by with something smaller. And that's going to help determine how the resurrection system works, because in this setup, I'm basically just fighting any configuration that gets given to me. I have no choice of what to fight. And that means that I need the resurrection system to be forgiving, because if you get a board given to you, an enemy board given to you that's really powerful or like hard counters your build, there needs to be a way for you to recover from that. And so that's what the resurrection system is doing. But I think that there's less of a need of a forgiving or a very forgiving resurrection system if the player is allowed to give input as to what encounter they fight, right? Because then if they choose a harder encounter knowing that it's harder and they lose, well, then it's like you made a wrong choice, right? And so I don't need to be as forgiving in that situation. So I may end up changing that resurrection system based on how that goes. I still like the idea of having a resurrection system, so that, you can continue on a run. I don't necessarily think... I think I can differentiate my game from other roguelike games by giving you extra opportunities to finish the run even after you die. So we're going to see how that works. But first, I want to, like I said, experiment with that. And we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to start by making something very basic. So what I'm thinking I'll do is... what am I thinking I'll do? I'll have something like this for enemy selection where there's 3 different options, and then I will just put a list of what the enemy encounters are, or the enemy cards on the board are, to the left-hand side. So we'll see how that works. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see. We will see. Okay. So let's create a new scene. VBox container. Combat selection container. Scenes UI. Combat selection. I'll go ahead and create that script down here too. And for now, we're just gonna we'll just add some buttons here. But I need this to be shrink center, ignore mouse. Okay, this is gonna be relatively simple. Is it gonna be relatively simple? That's a good question. Hello, NetK. That would be a good idea. Welcome back to the stream. That would be a good idea to have a few difficulties where the easiest would be sacrifice one card with the highest, no sacrifices at all. Was a new game plus or any way you think about. I see what you're saying. So you make the resurrection easier based on what sort of overall difficulty you're on. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, definitely need to think about the meta progression at some point, but I think the meta progression is one of those things that can just be added after you've got the whole game loop in. But yeah, definitely making it more difficult to resurrect on the higher difficulties is a good idea for sure. Hello, OC Richie, welcome back. I'll share a crazy idea. Resurrecting adds a fixed penalty card, dark cross, to your board. This reduces your damage or causes you to... Ooh, okay, interesting. I actually kind of like that. That is an interesting idea. It does the card, that penalty card, it doesn't even necessarily need to do anything. It could just be a dummy card that just takes up space on your board, and that just ends up being a space that you can't use. Right? That is an interesting idea. Or another way to take that idea is to do like a cursed cards, which are cards something like cursed cards either provide maybe like provide a big benefit and a big drawback, or yeah, something like that. That would be interesting. So yeah, cards with drawbacks on them. That's an interesting concept. Saturday Lurk. Yes, indeed. Welcome back, Neozoid. Good to see you again. Good to see you as always. Okay, anyway. You know what's kind of funny about this game is that I don't like working on UIs, but this game is very, very UI heavy. It's kind of funny how that works. Anyway, so what do I need to do? So what I probably need to do is I need to create public void set encounter, set configuration options. Scaled board configuration model. We'll just say we're just gonna make this super basic for now. Problem here is that this does not extend any Godot object, so that cannot be emitted with a signal, so we'll figure that out, but let's get the UI just working first here. So game UI, create combat selection container. Okay, game UI, combat selection container. Alrighty. So we need to add a new state in here. State machine.add states, state combat selection. Yeah, that works. Enemy board configuration manager. So where am I using this? Pick board configuration in here. So create enemy board. This is going to have to be a little bit different. How do I want this to work? Let's see. Okay, let's do this. So I don't think this is necessary anymore. Well, I guess I'll leave that. That's fine. Min tier, max tier, target tier. Do I want to make this? I'll just make this return an array. All right, so let's do this. For each var model target tier in min tier, target tier, max tier. I'm going to want to pick a model here. Oh, you know what? I need this probably to be for var I equals 0, I is less than 3. I plus plus, this can be I is less than tiers.length. Okay, var model target tier is equal to tiers I. Model target tier. New scaled configuration model 3. Models I equals model. I'm going to bring this down here actually. Okay, so what's essentially happening is we're taking all these min, target, and max. So this is like low difficulty, medium difficulty, high difficulty. And then iterating over all of those, picking a board configuration model for that. And then while the model is less than the difficulty that we want to select, it's going to upgrade cards on that model to match or exceed that model target tier, and then we can return that. Cool. And then yeah, okay, so that'll work. This is all wrong here, so this needs to go away. I think this needs to have scaled board configuration model here. All right, so scrolling back up now. Enemy board configuration manager, pick board configurations, combat encounters completed. Okay, and then we can do combat selection container dot set. What did I call it? Create combat selection container, set configuration options. Oh wait, I'm already doing that up here. Oops, okay. Okay. I probably want to make this, probably want to make it its own state machine as well. I need to be able to get whatever model is picked into this enter state combat preparation here. So, hello Craig, welcome back. Good to see you again. Welcome, welcome. How do I want to get that data over? Set configuration options. We got this on option selected option. Yeah, the problem here is that this is not... This does not extend something that can be sent in a signal, but I might need to make that the case. I might need to make that the case. Scaled board configuration model. Where is this used? The other thing is I actually need to free... Because the problem here is that I'm creating these card stats in here, but these are never going to be automatically freed. So anytime I'm using a card stats, I need to explicitly free it. Because whenever I create a card stats object, it's actually creating a node here. And I probably shouldn't be doing that. Whatever, we're going this far, so shoot. Oh boy. I'm at a fork in the road. Do I make the code even worse? Or do I try to get something a little bit nicer here? Shoot. Okay, I think what I'll do is I will have to... Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a new event state machine here. Selection event state machine. I think this is fine. So basically we're going to take this state combat, enter state combat selection, our combat selection event state machine equals that, add child combat selection event state machine. I'll have to figure out what to do from there, but let's take those out, put this in here. I need the enemy board configuration manager. Okay, so now is the part, oh gosh, there's a lot of refactoring going on. Okay, let's do this. Public class event state machine context. Public game UI. I guess that's fine. Public board, player board, public enemy board configuration manager. We're going to change this now to take the context. What is it? Run manager.event state machine context. I guess I can do this in here. And then what I'll do in the run manager is I'll create a private method in here. Private event state machine context, create event state machine context, return new event state machine context, game UI. Yep, that's all good. So now I have a single context object and I can just add more properties to it. And now this can be boiled down to a single constructor argument here. And we'll just call this protected event state machine context. Okay, then in here, event state machine context, pass in the context here. Okay, so now I can do context.gameUI, context. Ooh, we need the combat encounters completed as well. Public int combat encounters completed. Cool. Private combat selection container. Okay, let me go get everything else updated, all these other state machines updated. Okay, what else we got? Alchemy event state machine. Thank goodness for the AI assisted coding. It's making this refactoring a lot easier. It's captured in the state of the enclosing type. What the heck? What do you mean? Oh. This actually did it wrong. Never mind. I revoke my praise of the AI. Why is this not erroring? Oh, just didn't update, I guess. Cool. Alrighty then. Okay, so that's a change that I've been meaning to make. Refactor, baby. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This has to be called context as well. All right. Okay. Alrighty, so let's just close everything. So now I should be able to just do this. Create event state machine context, create event state machine context, create event state machine context. So that's a lot nicer because now I can just put an arbitrary number of context elements in there. And again, these separate state machines are basically just a way of storing state that is supposed to be local to that set of states without cluttering up the members in this run manager class. Because the run manager is basically just responsible for coordinating the overall flow of the game. And so ideally though, I'd want to push like the state variables or members as into the states here, so that I'm not just cluttering up that class, because that's going to get very unwieldy when I've got 20 things all being stored and I'm like, wait, where is this getting cleared and where is that getting cleared? So this whole thing of putting these, I guess it's kind of like a hierarchical state machine, because it kind of creates and invokes a new state machine for every event, but then the event can just manage its own state within its own little area of responsibility. And it makes it a lot easier to say, oh, how is the combat selection working? Oh, okay, I've got this long-lived state in here. It's just a lot easier. Just a lot easier, I think, but we'll see. I could be wrong. So now, yeah, so this is where now, yeah. We'll figure out what to do about this in just a second here. I may need to store some state at the run manager level. I think that might just be an inevitability, but we will see. What was I doing? Anyway, pick board configuration. So the whole reason why I wanted to do this little refactor here is because now I can do private scaled board configuration model. I can store these board configurations now, and I can say board configurations is equal to create the board configurations there, and then set the board configuration options. Now what I can do in here is I can do a signal option selected. This is actually going to become an int option index here. So I don't need to pass the entire object, and I'll just do this. This has to become, yeah, on option selected this becomes int option index. And now I can just do emit signal option selected, emit signal option selected with that option index. And then in this combat selection event state machine, I can do option selected, private void on option selected. Now I have my selected board configuration here because I'm storing that value there. So now I just got to figure out how to get that to actually create the board. So enter state combat selection, leave state combat selection, enter state combat preparation. This is where it'd be really handy to have like a transient state, like a state object or some state variables that can just be passed into the next immediate state. But I don't have that. So what I might do I could move this create enemy board into this combat state machine here. The problem is that I can imagine a situation where I want to be able to create an enemy board in a different context as well, and so I don't want that necessarily to just be on the combat selection event state machine, but I guess I can cross that bridge when I get there. So this might be the way to do it then. The other problem is that I need a long-lived reference to the enemy board, apparently. So that's going to be a problem as well. Yeah. So here's what I might do. I think I'm just going to take a step in the direction that I want to go, and then we'll deal with the downstream consequences of that later. So I'll move this create enemy board here. Var enemy board, resource preloader. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't have a resource preloader. Is everything else going to work, assuming that I fix all these reference issues? I don't have the turn manager. Context, game UI. If I add, so it doesn't, I guess it doesn't hurt to add the turn manager here in this context. Turn manager. Oh. Why is this reconnecting to the player board on player board died every time here? That seems wrong to me. Oh yeah, that's a bug. That should definitely not be happening. Player board is equal to that. I'm gonna put that in there. That should only be connected once. It looks like that was being connected every time. Okay, and we'll get rid of this. So this resource preloader, this is gonna be a little bit messy, but we will we'll just pass in that resource preloader as part of the context. It's a little bit messy, but that's fine. All right, so this enemy board died. I don't want to actually connect to this here either. So what I want to do, okay, hold on. I'll leave that there so I know it's something that needs to be corrected. I'm like have all kinds of threads going on here. So this is going to return a board. Return enemy board. We need to do a private scaled board configuration model selected board configuration. We're going to assign that there. State machine.change state create board. Okay, let's put this in here. State init, state create board. Yeah, so let's create that now. Enemy board is equal to create enemy board. Yeah. Okay, that'll work. State init. What happened to state init? Did I delete that? I guess so. So that's going to go into state create board after it assigns that. And the reason why I'm switching to a different state is because eventually I'm going to want to handle animations and stuff. So when the init state gets left, it's going to need to animate that out, wait for the animations to complete, then it's going to enter the state create board. It will create the board, and then I probably need to do some kind of signal here. Public delegate void enemy board created event handler. Emit signal enemy board created. And for now, I'll just do state machine, change state cleanup. It's gonna queue free that container. Actually, this needs to be done private void leave state init. Okay, so now in run manager, when I create that state machine, combat enemy board created. Yeah, so we're going to create down here on enemy board created. We're going to set the enemy board equal to this.enemy board is equal to enemy board dot died. So I do need a long-lived reference to the enemy board because that's necessary for like some of the other states, but I think that's good. Why am I still dealing with an error here? Why does it keep deleting that? Okay, anyway. Okay, one thing I like about refactoring with AI is that when you do a change, it usually tries to guess the other places where you may apply that same refactoring strategy. Yeah, I do like that a lot. Am I good at thinking? I like to think so, but maybe I'm not. Welcome back to the stream, by the way, Tommaso and Rootbin. Great to see you both back. Always nice to have you guys here. Let's see. Did I break anything beyond repair? Mid-signal board created, change state cleanup. So right, so now what I need to do is in here, okay, let's see what I broke. Let's see what I broke. I have to change the initial state there. Interesting strategy to handle state. It can become a problem quickly during development. Yeah, state is one of those things like game state. That's where the spaghetti code is going to appear if it appears anywhere. If you've got game state just scattered everywhere and you are managing all kinds of flags and you're storing long-lived references to things, if you're not careful about how you're isolating those pieces of state and managing them, that's where the spaghetti code really comes into play. So it's very important, in my opinion, to get those things right. This begin button shouldn't appear, but let's do option 1. Okay, it broke. Index was outside the bounds of the array. What are you talking about? Oh. I actually don't think that's going to fix it, but let's see. Okay, that worked. That worked. That worked. Okay, so now I need to do some cleanup here. State cleanup. Enter state cleanup. For each var configuration in board configurations. If configuration is not equal to selected board configuration, we need to do scaled. I'm going to do this scaled board configuration. Public void cleanup for each var val in sequential cell to card dot values val dot queue free. And I think there's another place where I'm doing this. I thought, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. So this cleanup needs to be called in here. Just because, again, those card stats have basically orphan nodes that they're creating anytime they're instantiated, but yeah, those just need to be cleaned up. Probably I'm gonna need to fix that at some point, but probably shouldn't create the card node until I'm ready for it to be created. Or maybe maybe what I should do in the card stats here is when this add as child is called, I should probably just instantiate the card node at this point if it doesn't exist. Maybe I'll do that. I might do that just real quick. It's kind of dangerous, but let's do it early in development. Private void create card node. There. We can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this. I think that's going to be okay. Is it going to be okay? I think so. We'll fix whatever issues come up as a result of this. And then we're going to do something here. If card node is equal to null, which means that it's never been assigned, we're going to say card node, create card node here. So I don't think this kind of cleanup is necessary anymore because it's not going to take effect. Yeah, I don't think this is necessary anymore. I guess we'll find out. We'll have to watch the orphan nodes metric, I guess, and make sure that it's not creating any orphan nodes. But anyway, got a lot of stuff changing at once here, but let's see if it works. I'm pretty confident that's going to largely work. It may not, but... Okay, so all this is still working. That's good. Let's see. That works. We click begin. Okay, so that loop is still working. That's pretty encouraging. That's pretty encouraging. Option 2. Should probably make the health change based on the option as well. That would be interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna need to figure that out as well. Hello, Lysai, or Yeezy, was it Yeezy? I forgot. I think it's Yeezy. Good afternoon to you as well. Well, it's morning here, but good afternoon to you. Okay, this is working pretty well, I think. So refactoring to support combat encounter selection. So we'll just commit that, and then let's actually go into here now. And we're gonna need, yeah, you have very good memory. Thank you. Sometimes I think my memory is bad, and sometimes I think it's okay. I don't know. I don't know. Apple, welcome. Good to see you again as well. So I need to, what do I need to do? I need to create a scene for the selection button. Combat selection button. Okay, actually, I think this type needs to be changed. I actually don't know if I need this VBox container, but basically what I'm trying to do is I need another VBox container. Actually, maybe I can do a single label. Okay, text control label. This text control, we're gonna do shrink center. No, shrink begin, shrink center. This label, like this, that should grow out. We're gonna do justified to the right. So then this is gonna say like Corvid 1 skeleton 4 incense 2. Something like that. Access as unique name. Okay, so we've got button and text control. Button. Node. This is a description label. Node. Private button. Button. Why is this public? Private. var names is equal to scaled board configuration model dot sequential cell to card ID dot values dot select card dot base card dot card definition resource display name plus card base card dot tier. This is 2 Roman numeral. What is it? Game utils 2 Roman numeral. Var description equals string dot join names. We're going to want that, but we're also going to want to do button dot mouse entered, mouse exited. We want the node private control text control dot visible equals false. Okay, I think that's fine for now. So we'll go into the combat selection container, add the resource preloader, combat selection button. So in here, we need to do button is equal to resource preloader, instance scene or null, combat selection button. We want that node there. We don't want to change the text, that's fine. Not for now anyway. Button. Okay, combat selection container. Okay, hopefully that's basically all I need to do, I think. Let's see what happens. Question my own intelligence when I enter the room and I'm forgetting what I wanted to take or do, yeah. But I guess it's a pretty normal thing. Yeah, I think it is a normal thing. Uh-oh. Oh. This is a margin container. It's not actually updating the text. Oh, I'm never calling set button dot set configuration option. Corvid 1, Incense 1, Viper 1, Scarab 1, Bell 1. Boom. Okay, so now I can see the configuration options begin. I still have my health set to 1, so I'm dying very quickly, but we'll just make sure all this is working correctly. Make sure the rest of the loop works too. It should work. There should be no reason why the rest of the loop doesn't work, but we'll give it a go. That's not correct. That's not correct. That's not correct. Object reference not set to an instance of object. It's probably related to those node changes that I made. Card CS, card inspector 55. Wait, so 241. Inspector set card stats. Add as child. Yeah, so what I want to do is card container add child. Card stats dot card node. Card stats dot add as child this. Okay, that should fix that. Scarab 1, Bell 1, So these two are the same. So I'm going to want to prevent picking the same configuration, I think. Skeleton Warrior 1. Seems like this is a good game for phones. Any plans for Android? You can get a lot of money from ads if it will get popular. I mean, I don't like phone games. That's the reason I don't make phone games, is because I don't like them. But maybe. Maybe. Add enchantment to card. Oh, that doesn't do anything. Oops. Yeah, but could you release it on both platforms? I know, but I just don't like mobile gaming. I don't know why I would release something for a platform that I don't like. I know it's probably potentially more money, but I just don't like the whole ecosystem. But we'll get the game finished first, and then we'll see. And then we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. I need to hide, so that game UI hide begin button. Hide begin button, there we go. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So we'll want to do some art for this at some point. But I can choose that. So the next big thing is to make it give some kind of reward as well, based on which difficulty you've selected. So let's see. Okay. So basic combat selection working. All right, so yeah, we want to get rewards in place now for when you choose it. Also, I want to, let's see. I'm going to put this in here and just write some notes real quick. What is it? I want to prevent same board configuration from being chosen twice. Add currency rewards on board difficulty. Okay, I think that's, so these are the things that I want to do here. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick 2-minute break here and get a refill on my drink and all that good stuff. And when I come back, we'll work on adding currency rewards based on which board you fight. So I'm gonna need to figure out how to do that. And then maybe we'll get into some art for this, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. But in the meantime, while I'm on my quick 2-minute break, please check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support me. Gunforge is on sale right now for 30% off, so you can pick that up if you want. And yeah, I'll be right back, and we'll get into this next chunk of work. Alrighty, I'm back. Okay, so let's figure out how to get the currency rewards for various combat encounters in place. So, yeah, how are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Hello, Snupbill. Thank you so much for the IDR 20,000 again. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Always appreciate that. And welcome back to the stream, of course. So, let's see. How am I going to do this? On enemy board created. Event state machine. Pick board configurations. Option index on option selected, option index. So maybe I'll do this. Private. I'm gonna have to make this a little bit more sophisticated in the future, but private int currency reward. Currency reward is equal to option index times 5. We'll just make that very basic for now. So if you choose the first option, you get no reward. If you choose, well, maybe we'll just always give a reward. So 5, 10, and 15 is your currency reward. Okay, so in here, on enemy board created currency reward. I think I'm just gonna have to do this. Private int combat currency reward. So in here, currency manager dot add blood combat currency reward. I mean, I think that's the simplest way to do it. Okay, let's just give it a little bit of a play and see how that feels. Respect for sticking with the bit, yummers. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put my board together here. All right, do I want to fight a Scarab, Corvid, Incense, Scarab, and Bell? Let's do that one. Begin. So I should get 15 blood here. Boom, 15 blood. Check it out. All right, let's do some ritual cards. Ooh, ceremonial dagger. I'm going to take that and just store that for now. Max health increase. Let's do 15. And we went into the wrong state. Okay, good thing I tested it. Okay. I gotta convert some of those other events to event state machines as well, but One thing at a time, you know? Okay, we'll fight the Scarab and the Bell again. Hello, Progyon, welcome back. Good to see you again. Boom, 15 more minion cards. Oh, I actually wanted the Ceremonial Dagger again. Ooh, I'll take this though. I'll take that. Double damage. Yeah, I might just lean into the damage here. Add enchantment, increase board size. Let's increase the board size. Why is that still not working? State, combat, preparation. Of course it's, of course. State, combat selection. Okay, is this being used anywhere else? Those usages are correct. Okay. Goodness gracious. Boom. 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 Viper 1. Let's go. Cool. Let's do a relic. Ooh, Viper. I'll take that. Alchemized cards, max health increase. Increased by that. Let's do both Corvids. Ooh, actually I might lose this. This might have... Well, I have health now. I have to make this modify the health as well. Add card... Or let's do this. Health. Higher for higher... For higher difficulty boards. I don't know. I might win this one, actually. We'll see. It's going to take a while, though. Still lurking, Neozoid. Good, good. Oh, these Corvids might actually win. They do 8 damage per turn. Ooh, I might lose this. We'll see. Actually, I think I will. I think I'll squeak by. Yep, it looks like I'm just barely gonna squeak by with 1 health. Ooh. Okay. Wow. All right, more minion cards. Let's go. Let's do another Viper. We'll stack Vipers. I do want health, but I'm gonna do board size instead. Let's a Viper 2. Can I fight a Viper 2? I think so. Let's go ahead and try it. I made a mistake choosing these big Viper cards because I can't actually utilize this space here. Okay, the sort of loop and the decision-making process is starting to become clearer now with these options. I should have probably chosen an easier bit of combat here. Oh, I might die. Am I gonna die? I might lose this. Oh my gosh, I lost. Oh no. Oh no. I made a mistake. Okay, so that's working really well, actually. Because... I guarantee you if I had chosen some different cards except for these massive ones so that I could fill in these spots, I probably would have been able to win that encounter, and that was the most difficult encounter. So that's feeling pretty good, all right, already. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to cheat a little bit though. Resurrect. I'm going to throw the God mode item, the God button on there. Just skip that encounter for now. Do the items give bonuses to other cells in inventory? Yes. So this incense here affects adjacent minion cards. And so if you hover over the incense, it will highlight that minion. Make that a little bit bigger, I guess. It will highlight that minions so it indicates that it's affecting it. I don't have any other cards like this. embalming fluid applies 1 preserve per allied ritual card, and that provides protection from damage. So you can see that the bell counts as a ritual card. And then this corvid here, this will echo if there are multiple corvids on the board. And echo is just, it executes again. So there's definitely some like cards affecting other cards, yeah. It's not just, oh, figure out what empty spaces to put them in. You also have to utilize the bonuses, right? So this incense has to be next to a minion to provide its bonus. But because it affects all adjacent minions, you could maximize it by putting minions all around it or on 3 sides of it or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's increase the board size again. Skeleton Warrior, Lambone Ring 1, Axe, Corvid, Incense 2, Scarab Bell. I'm feeling like this one. Okay, let's see. Ah, yes, Synergy. Yes, indeed. Hello, Maikun Dev. Welcome back. Synergy, indeed. I might lose this one, actually. I don't have enough damage output on this board. Yeah, I don't have the damage to outdamage this thing. That bell isn't doing anything. Wow, it just freaking destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Okay, so I still got to figure out what exactly is going to happen during that whole resurrection phase and whatnot, but yeah, obviously there's still some work to be done here, but it's feeling okay. It's feeling okay. You should also add a feature so you can manage your inventory, like maybe make cells movable so you can fit certain items in the way the player wants to. I'm not sure if you know what I mean. Well, yeah, so making a non-rectangular shaped grid is basically what you're saying. That was an idea that I had earlier, which is to have an event where you can add cells wherever you want them to be, but I haven't added that yet. I may add that in the future. The code is all written to support that case, but yeah, I just need to think about that some more. I don't think it's going to be technically that hard. I think the hardest thing is just going to be getting the visuals to look nice with that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay, so what did I make any changes here? Oh yeah, fix state transitions. Actually, added currency rewards for combat. Add upgrades to the cells themselves. Yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that as well. Being able to like buff a region of the grid or buff a cell such that any card that overlaps with that cell gains some kind of bonus. There's a lot of things to do with this game, honestly. There's a lot. But I'm just going to start simple first. Just going to keep a rectangular/square grid and then make that as compelling as possible, and then just leave open the possibility that I can do things like what you're talking about in the future. Like I said, all the code is built with the assumption that the grid does not have to be rectangular. So it should be relatively easy from a technical standpoint to do that, to support those kind of cases. So yeah, so I'm just leaving open that possibility, but we'll see how it shapes up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, I would love to just stuff this game with all kinds of interesting stuff, because there's a lot of things that can be done here. But yeah, I just got to get a good, get a good loop in place, you know? It will make the game more interesting, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So art, maybe I'll do some art now. I'm sort of getting like, I end up like, it's hard for me to see, what am I trying to say? I like to see art and polish added to the game early because it makes me able to see the more complete version of the game easier. I have a hard time like being excited about the game when it's like, look at these built-in Godot buttons here. It's like, you know. But if I replace these with art and make it look nice and give it animations and stuff, that's when I'm like, ooh, yeah, that feels nice, you know. So, yeah. I think this is nice. I think this is, I didn't want to come up with a whole UI of showing like what the board actually looks like. I think just saying what the cards are good enough here. And obviously if you're a new player to the game, you're not going to know exactly what these mean. But as you get familiar with the game and you learn what the cards do, it will be easier to understand at a glance like what this does. You could also, I guess, offer the opportunity to like right click this option like you can with the cards here and see the board layout. That would be interesting. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, so these options, so we want to do different combat options here. So I'm going to doodle around in some art. I actually don't have any good ideas for what this is going to look like, but I'm just going to go ahead and just start doodling and see if I can come up with something. Okay. So I'm going to start just by doodling some swords here. Is there a reason why my shift key isn't working? Oh, because I'm on the fill tool. That would be why. That looks dumb. Sorry to say. Maybe it could look less dumb if I... Nope, it just looks dumb, that's all. That's all. Simple as. Maybe the handle, the hilt or whatever it's called, is a little bit too... Yeah, maybe the hilt is the problem here. It's just a little bit too fat. That looks better. I think maybe it just needs to be more elegant all around. It's not pointy enough though, that's the thing. Doesn't look terrible. I wonder if I could get away with making it skinnier at the top too. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. I think I could do some stuff with some shading or whatnot to make that look all right, but you know what my favorite kind of sword is? My favorite kind of sword is just a straight up... I'm trying to find a good picture. I guess this one is fine. Just a straight up European arming sword. Oh, I don't want to click on that. Just super elegant. Not much going on, just real streamlined. Gotta love it, you know? Sometimes in games, the games that have these kind of swords, I'll just use that, even though it's like probably one of the weaker ones. Just because it's so nice. Look at that. So I kind of want to do something like that. The problem is I can't give it like this smooth curve here because I don't have enough pixels. So that's a problem. Also, this already looks kind of small as a UI element. So I probably need to make this bigger, actually. Okay, so round 2. Should add tooltips, yeah. Wasn't bad, but pretty generic, yeah. Pixel art is great, by the way, thank you. Do you use a mouse or tablet for pixel art? Mouse. Yeah, I use a mouse. Oops. Like I said, we're just doodling. We're just doodling. Let's get the basic shapes in place first, and then I'll worry about the details and the contours later. Get the basic shapes in place first. I keep using the wrong tool. It's almost too big now. Oh, did I do this wrong? No. Okay. You take like a sword drawing class or something. That's a better size. That's a better size. Wish I could do symmetry along a diagonal. That would be so nice. But alas, Sprite does not support that. Okay, it's a little bit, let's see. Can I do a lasso tool? Mouse, interesting. I would have thought it'd been easier to do with a tablet. I mean, for pixel art, it doesn't really matter because, like, you're snapping to a grid and you can zoom in a lot. So it's like, you know, I don't think it really matters. But I'm not, like I said, I don't use tablets, so I don't know for sure, I guess. I'll just keep it the way it was. It's fine. It's fine. It's a little bit off kilter here, but maybe I'll just adjust the rest of the sword. Or I can take a slice off of there. Okay. Yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. I did get a tablet, but in all honesty, I prefer a mouse. Yeah, that makes sense. Hello, Camilo. Welcome back. Without a cube, make a picture. Huh? Without cube, make a picture. I says his 2D image makes so smooth for Godot. How? I'm sorry, Samir. I have no idea what you're trying to ask. I'm sorry. I find pixel art easier with mouse, with the exception of doing the silhouette, which is still easy with the mouse too. Oh, gotcha. Hello, Fiskits. All right, I'm gonna try a different approach here. Instead of doing an angle, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna do... I'm gonna do it vertical. Drawing at a diagonal is too hard for me. I need the symmetry. That's already looking better. Look at that. So much nicer. That's probably too much. We'll just do that. Yeah. I still don't like... I don't think I'm going to be able to curve it, so maybe I'll just try to make the blade thinner to start and just do that. That's too thin, though. That's too thin, though. Oops. I mean, maybe I can do it. I guess that doesn't look terrible. I wonder if I could get away with doing some shading here that will make it look a little bit... a little bit better, I suppose. I guess not. I think this is probably just going to be an issue. I think this is probably just going to be an issue regardless. So we'll just see if we can make it look as good as possible with just this. I may actually remove the shadow on that side. I wonder if I should do this. Take this. Take that. Make the blade mostly green and then do highlights. Kind of looks like a diamond sword. Minecraft style. Yeah, I think it's just going to be awkward. I don't really have a way of doing this. I mean, I think... It's fine. It's fine. That's the bar. I like it. Looks cool. Okay. I think some artists prefer a tablet for drawing large, complex art scenes. Yeah, I mean, I think if I were to use a tablet, I think I would use a tablet if I was doing a lot of like organic curves, you know what I mean? Like if I like a landscape, right, where I got to draw big hills or something. See how shaky that becomes with the mouse? It's like, oh, there's a little weird hump there. It's not, you know, it's not something that can't be fixed. Right? But I imagine that would probably be easier to do if you could just make that motion with your hand, like with a pen. But I don't do a whole lot of organic curves, and also I don't do like landscape stuff, so... Was I blowing into the mic? Oops. Oops. Godot Assist Maker software name only for 2D. Yeah, I'm sorry, Samir. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to say. Just vibe draw. /J. What does that mean? Is that a joke? Vibe draw. I don't get it too. Yeah, I was thinking, like, sometimes the chat helps me translate, because I know there's a lot of people in here that where English isn't their first language. I mean, English is barely my first language, but yeah, sometimes it's just it's indecipherable. I'm sorry. I would love to help you out, but I just don't know. I don't know what you're asking. You speak another language? No, no, I don't. I used to be able to speak German relatively fluently because I took 4 years of it in high school, but I haven't spoken German, because guess what? There are no no German speakers within a 3,000 mile radius of me. So, you know, it's kind of a useless waste of time, but it was interesting, I suppose. Possible interpretation. You're asking a name for a Godot-based tool software that helps with 2D game creation, and you want it only for 2D usage. You don't use old-style 2D shapes like cubes. Use a trendy modern graphical style instead. I mean, that's a good guess, ChatGPT. But Godot is the tool that helps with 2D game creation, so I guess it's kind of a moot question, right? If you're asking, I don't know, like, I don't know. Vibe coding, yeah. Vibe arting. Just have an AI assistant in A-Sprite that just draws curves for you, and then you like, I wonder if that's possible. Vibe arting. You can like highlight a region and say, I don't like this, change the shading, you know? Or here, do a line of trees right here, horizontally. It'd be kind of interesting. There's $1 billion, or the way the market is now, like with the AI stuff, there's a $500 trillion idea for you. Okay, so it's kind of boring that the sword is straight up, but I don't know how to draw it diagonal, so we're just going to call this good. We're just going to call this good. Okay, so oh, that looks good. I like that. Kind of be a little bit more consistent here. No, I'll just put it back the way it was. Do I want that there? I don't know. Like I like to say, this might be a quit while I'm ahead situation. Okay. But we need different difficulty scaling, so I'm thinking I might do... What happens if I do this, Shift V? I haven't really thought this through that much. Something like that might be okay. I don't know, I'll probably change this art later on, but I just want to get something in the game. I think it's a good size. So we'll do sword. Let's duplicate this. Duplicate. Actually, before I duplicate that, let's delete the reference here. Delete layer, sword, outline. Okay. Duplicate, sword, outline. Okay, we're gonna do this. Boom. Boom. Check it out. Boom. Boom. Now I've got a sword outline. And then what I'll do is I'll just flip it in the in Godot. So I'll just do like one sword for difficulty 1, so on and so forth. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Cool. Export layers. What does the term vibe coding come from? I know what it means, but why programming with AI is vibe coding? I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things that just popped up. Those tech bros, you know? Sooner or later will be a thing, yeah, that AI. Oh, okay, so that was what Samir was asking. Okay, well... yeah, I mean, I would just suggest Godot. Like, if you just want to make a 2D game. Yeah. Or, yeah, if you're thinking about art, yeah, like if you're trying to do, like, illustrated art... well, okay, so Sprite for pixel art, GIMP or Photoshop for higher detail art, Krita for like vector art, and then using Godot as the 2D engine, you know, that could be a nice stack if you're trying to create a 2D illustrated game or something like that. There's a plugin called Pixel Lab for Sprite that generates 2D art from a prompt. Is pretty capable, although personally I prefer to make my own. Gotcha, okay. It looks great, thank you, yeah. How about vibe streaming? Okay, all right. Whole stream is AI generated. Isn't that what basically like VTubers are? It's only a matter of time before a VTuber just invisibly replaces themselves with an AI agent and then no one notices. No offense to VTubers. So how do I want to do this? That's a good question. That is a very good question. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. We're going to change this to an HBox container. We're going to put control nodes in here. Then we're going to do sprite nodes, sword outline. Drag it on, thank you. So now what I'm thinking is that I'll set this control to have a custom minimum size. Actually, I probably don't. Probably just want to do that. And then whatever size this is. Do I know what size this is? I guess I'll just use the ruler here. 26. 69, nice. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll do this. So I will essentially just duplicate this control, but flip these like that, and then duplicate this control again. Very sloppy, but you know, whatever works, right? Then check this out. Take this HBox container, separation. You can do a negative separation in HBox containers, which a lot of people don't know. So do a negative separation if you want things to be overlapping. And there we go. Now we've got a nice... So now I can do, just for the difficulty, I can just turn these on and off, right? So I can say that's difficulty 2 and there's difficulty 3. And the nice thing about this being an HBox container is that these are just automatically going to change the size. The reason I wrapped a control around the nodes is because obviously Sprite 2Ds don't affect control size. So I just made the control minimum size the same as the sprite bounding box. That way I can just use the sprites. I don't have to deal with texture rects and stuff. And the control here serves as a way of filling out that HBox container so that everything gets aligned properly. But I also need to turn this down to ignore. I think a lot of people get hung up on like what is the right way to do something in Godot. It's like, you know, I mean, it's a good question, but you know, like look at the way I'm setting this up. This is very simple. I'm using like control nodes in a very simple way to get a kind of easy layout here. And if it works, you know. Krita does vectors. Does it? I might be wrong. Might be wrong. I'm a student. I love game development from India, and I learned English because I have many story for new games. Yeah, well, it's a good idea. I mean, English is like, if you are not a native English speaker, I think that learning English becomes like a superpower. It unlocks so many opportunities for you. Even just something as simple as like the vast majority of tutorial content online for like game development and stuff is in English, right? So you just unlock so much potential for yourself. So yeah, keep practicing. I hope you're not offended by the fact that I didn't understand you, but keep practicing your English and you'll be there. You'll get there. Looks hot. Okay. Always use an AI to refine your message. Yeah, that's true. Vaguely reminds me of Sicilian playing cards. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good vibe for this game, I think. I don't know if I'm going to be in love with this, but we're going to see. We will see. So I'm just going to rename these to option 1. Okay, so combat selected button. Update display. Set configuration. I'll just do int option index in here. For each var child in, what do I call this? Options container. Whoops. Node private control options container. Options container. Get children dot of type control. Child dot get index is less than or equal to option index. Oh wait. Child dot visible. Okay, that should work. And then private sprite 2D sword outlines is equal to, we'll just get a reference to all these. Node private sprite 2D sword outline 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll create a private void update display. Bool is hovered. Okay. So now in this options container, dot mouse entered, no. Options container dot mouse entered plus equals on mouse entered. Options container dot mouse exited on mouse exited. Options container dot GUI input plus equals on GUI input. Update display on GUI input. If I don't like how it does this. EVT is action pressed. Game events or game constants dot action click left. Accept event. And then pressed, yeah, emit pressed signal. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, so there's a couple problems. One, they're not centered, so let me fix that. How exactly do I do that? Shrink center. Okay, and then the other thing I want to do is change this type back to a VBox container. Would I make up my... Oh, I can't do that. Okay, hold on. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Wait. Here. This is where I want to change it. 32. All right, let's see how that looks. That's a little bit too much spacing between each one. The swords might actually be a little bit too tall as well. Although that looks okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to call update display here. False to hide all those initially. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this minimum size here. So this options container, I'm going to make that shrink center, yeah. But this combat selection button, I'm going to make this minimum 58 in the X so that all of the clickable areas are the same size. Is that working? Oh no, wait. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. This needs to have a minimum size of 58. So now all of the clickable areas will have the same width. Although that appears not to be working now. Do this. Oh, these all need to be... Actually, I can change it here. Okay, now it should be good. So this is the same clickable area. And also that aligns all the text so that they're on the same x-axis. Cool. Obviously, I could do some kind of animation there when I select them, but that's looking all right now. Hello, Safal. Welcome. Good to see you. Krita is more for digital drawing. Inkscape is better. Oh, Inkscape is the one I was thinking of. New game story, which will develop too. Right now, I will use Godot, but in the future, I'll shift to Unreal after use Translator. Gotcha. Yeah. I understand. I see you've chosen to do some nice relaxing weekend work. I approve of your decision. Thank you. Yeah. Nothing like Saturday morning. It's raining here too, which is nice. Or it was raining. I'm making an incremental clicker game when you are the sentient AI, which gets stronger and eliminates humans for its own safety. Paperclips clicker game inspired me. Yeah, clicker games are fun. I mean, everyone was addicted to Cookie Clicker when that came out. I played that quite a bit. But I have to say, I haven't really played clicker games since. Have you heard of Pixelorama? It's a free Aseprite alternative made with Godot. I have, yeah. Is there a reason to use it over Aseprite? I don't mean that in any sort of like derogatory sense. I just mean like, is there a killer feature that it has that Aseprite doesn't have? My first online game is Clash of Clans. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's a big one too. Let's give this a little bit of a play and see how this is feeling. Increase board size. Yeah, let's do that because I have this card. Oh, wait. It's not going to work. I guess that's fine. I'll just not use the incense for now. Viper 2. Let's do Corvid. Begin. I think I'll be able to out-damage this, especially since I have the heal. Sweet. I want to get... Yes, Ceremonial Dagger, and then I just need a Viper. Max health increase, I've got 30, so let's do this. Axe and Skeleton Warrior. Yeah, I'll be able to win this one for sure. I need to show the health or the rewards too at each of those combat things. Do I have that? Let's see if we can get a Viper in here. Ooh, 2 Vipers. Let's go. Increase board size. All right, now we're in business. So we got this. Apply 1 poison, double the poison applied if an adjacent card applies poison. So this is going to work with that. This axe is going to work with that. Although what I could do is instead is do incense and then heal. So that incense is going to affect those 2 minions. The dagger is going to get extra poison from the Viper here. And then I've just got some healing going on to help me sustain. All right, embalming fluid, incense 1, and scarab. For some reason, this highlighting is not working here. I should be able to highlight this and see that it's working off the incense there. But let's see. I think the shield protects from poison. That's not good. Okay, let me do this. Shield protects from poison, which I don't want to happen. I don't think. Bug doesn't highlight relevant cards on hover when on enemy board. That might be related to some of the query changes that I made. So I'll just write these down so I can fix those later. Okay, let's do another minion card. Ooh, Scarab, let's take that. Alchemy, yes. So I want to alchemize the Scarab, and I'm going to alchemize... maybe the Viper. Oh, I can't fit the Viper on there. Okay. Do I want to alchemize the dagger? Perform alchemical trans... No, I lost my dagger. Okay. Apply 1 poison, double the poison applied, deal 1's damage. So these are all the same then. For now. So I can put that here, I suppose. So now the question is... Wait, I can reorganize this a little bit. Can I? Yeah, let's do this. Put this here. Incense so it affects all of those minions. And then I could either put the heal back in or I can put the axe here. And now I'm like maxing this out. So incense is affecting these 3 minions. Oh, wait. That's not going to work. Because I want the Scarab to be adjacent to the Viper. Okay, hold on. We're going to figure this out. Put the Viper there. Oh, is there going to be no way of making this work? I don't think I'm going to be able to make the incense hit everything and also include the axe. So... Oh, wait. Yes, I can. Oh, no, because the... Yeah, I keep forgetting the Scarab needs to be adjacent. Okay. Well, I can do this. Oh, I can't do that. Am I not... I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to get everything that I want. I think that's a good outcome, because that's going to get bonused. The incense will apply to at least 2 minions here, and then the Scarab will get the bonus from the Viper. This is pretty fun, though, trying to figure out the board and get everything all working properly. Nice. Very cool. if you already own a Sprite, yeah, there's no real reason to use Pixelorama, but if you don't, it's a great free alternative. Oh, it's free, okay. That makes sense. A Viper 3? Bell Alembic Phylactery? I'm kind of curious if I can fight this one. Now I've got extra space. Can I do what I was trying to do previously? Cool. Let's fight this. Let's see if I win. Let's see if I win. This one's nasty because it's got a lot of health, but it's also going to be applying a ton of poison here. This poison is going to really ramp up. So I may not, well, we'll see. I may not actually end up winning, but let's see. Like that 9 poison right there is nasty. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win. Oh, I lost. Yeah, I lost. I lost to a board configuration that didn't even have minions on it. RIP. And now I have to sacrifice to resurrect. Although it's kind of pointless because I know I'm not going to beat this. So. Yeah. Still a lot to figure out about this game, but it's coming along. It's coming along. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right, well, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you all for being here. Add sword art for combat encounter selection. So yeah, again, if you want to support my work, I have Gunforged available for sale. It's currently 30% off. So if you're interested, that's a great way of supporting me. And also leave a review if you end up playing it. I would very much appreciate that. And also, I have my Udemy courses available for sale, so if you want to learn how to build a complete game in the Godot engine, check that out for sure. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. I won't be streaming for the rest of the weekend, so if you want to catch me at the next stream, that will happen at 10 a.m. on Monday Eastern time. Cool. All right, thanks again, everyone, and I hope you all have a great weekend again. Thank you to the VOD watchers and lurkers out there as well, and I will see you next week. All right, bye-bye, everyone.